Welcome to the Sweat Simple podcast. I'm Brooks, and I'm an online fitness, nutrition, and mindset coach who's here to help you learn how to eat and exercise for real life, not just those perfect moments. Because let's be real, there is a lot of conflicting information online, and it can be hard to know what's legit and who to trust. In every episode, I'll be sharing the science and psychology behind health, fitness, and long-lasting behavior change, but I'll also be sharing practical, real-life application because all of the best info in the world only matters if you can apply it to your real life. So grab a coffee, water, glass of wine, or lace up your walking shoes, and let's dive in. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Sweat Simple podcast. Today, we are talking all about how to lose fat during summer, even when things are really busy, because summer can be a really difficult time of year to lose fat just because a lot of the things that are common barriers for fat loss in general really start to multiply during the summer. Like with my one-on-one coaching clients, I always talk about how when we are trying to change our habits, when we're trying to change our behaviors, we have these easy situations to practice in, and we have harder situations to practice in. And a lot of the harder situations to practice in are things like social events, travel, eating out more frequently, meals that we didn't make ourselves. And all of those things tend to come up more and more over the course of summer. Like, I'm sure you can already relate. It starts even before Memorial Day weekend. And now when you're listening to this, it's going to be like July at this point. So you're probably deep in it. You probably have a lot of travel. Maybe you're even traveling right now. You're noticing that there's a lot of those like random social events that pop up, a lot of potlucks that are going on. And it's just feeling really tough to quote unquote practice these new health and fitness behaviors that you've been working on. And it can almost feel like you're fighting a double-edged sword because on one hand, summer, we're also wearing less clothing. We're in bathing suits more. So maybe you're having some negative body image thoughts. Maybe you're not feeling super comfortable in your clothes. Maybe you really want to lose some fat. And, maybe those goals that you set at the start of the new year are still really important to you. Like, you want to be losing fat. You want to be making these changes. But on the other hand, you also want to be able to just enjoy this season. You want to say yes to the random ice cream. You want to be able to go and have the patio drinks. You want to have the random barbecue at your friend's pool on a Sunday night. And you're in this constant battle between one of my clients one time said before we were working together on her initial call, she originally said she felt like she was always going between this YOLO mentality, like you only live once, I just want to enjoy this moment, like I shouldn't be trying to restrict myself or anything like that, but then being frustrated every single Sunday because she wasn't actually making progress towards her goals. And maybe you're feeling that too. Maybe you really want to be enjoying yourself, but it's feeling near impossible to do that right now. The good news, though, is that it really is possible to do both. This is exactly what I coach my one-on-one coaching clients through: how to be consistent with fat loss while still enjoying all of these life moments. Because this is actually when fat loss can be most beneficial, or when practicing these behaviors can be most beneficial. And I know your gut reaction a lot of the times is, well, I'm just going to forget about this until fall. Things are too busy right now. I'm just going to ignore it. But here's the thing. Summer is going to come up every single year. Busy seasons are going to come up every single year, multiple times a year. So if we really want to be successful with this long term, we need to learn how to practice these new behaviors, these new habits, not just in the easy situations that happen when we are fully in control of our environment and we have no travel and we're being a hermit at home. We also need to be able to practice these new behaviors, these new habits in harder situations. And there is one very important skill that's required in order to be successful over the summer with fat loss. And it's something called cognitive flexibility. Now, this is basically the opposite of all or nothing thinking. So if you are someone who tends to fall into that all or nothing thinking pattern where you feel like as soon as I have the chips, as soon as I have the ice cream, as soon as I can't perfectly follow my plan, I throw everything out the window. I'm either 100% on track or I am fully off track. Like, there is no in between. That's what we would consider all or nothing thinking. You are falling into this pattern of being very black and white with your fitness goals, being very on or off track. And I tend to work with a lot of type A high achieving women. So this all or nothing thinking, this is really common. This is the thing that is, you think, driving your success, because when you're ready to reach a goal, you are going all in. But as you've noticed during this busy summer season, that all or nothing thinking isn't working very well, because there are so many events, so many things that we can't plan for, that it's really impossible to be all in all the time. So we need to develop what we call cognitive flexibility, which again is basically the opposite of all or nothing thinking. So yes, summer is busy. Yes, there are a lot of events, but it's usually not the increase in events itself that's causing the issue. It's how you're looking at and how you're viewing these events that are causing the issue. Because tell me if you can relate to any of this. Like, if you aren't sure how to track calories at a meal out, you just don't. If you can't perfectly track it, you feel like it's not worth tracking at all. Or maybe a friend invites you to happy hour and you weren't originally planning to go. So now that this thing popped up, you just say YOLO, you throw in the towel, you say you're going to start over tomorrow. Maybe you can relate to it's Saturday and you feel like you already indulged, you went to brunch. So now you just say screw it and you'll start over on Monday. And eventually you get to a point, maybe you're already at this point, where we're so deep into summer that you just say screw it until fall. But then you spend the rest of this summer feeling really frustrated with yourself and feeling uncomfy in your body. And all of those examples that I just gave, those are all examples of all or nothing thinking, which is why cognitive flexibility during this time period is so important. Because instead of giving up all summer the second that we can't be perfect, we need to learn how to show up in some way. And I know that this can be a really hard one for my type A girlies to grasp. I know, again, like, you want to be all in. You feel like in order for this to be worth it, in order to make progress, you have to be all in. But that's why you're in this cycle with summer right now. That's why maybe this is the second, the third, the fourth, heck, the 10th year that you went into summer with a weight loss goal. And why every year we're coming back and the scale hasn't really changed. Or maybe it's kind of like we've lost 5 pounds, we've gained it all back. This lack of cognitive flexibility, this falling into all or nothing thinking, this is why. So instead of looking at the summer as, well, I can't be perfect, so I'm just going to throw in the towel at all of these different moments, each week this summer, I want you to think about what can you do to get in as many reps towards the new behavior that you're working on as you can. So what might this look like? I always use this reps example with my clients. I love it. I think it's really helpful. But what might this look like? Let's say that you are trying to navigate social events in a different way, and you're really trying to get more protein at all of your meals, okay? Let's say like the main behavior is like, I want to eat more protein. I want to eat more balanced plates. Every week, think about how you can get in as many reps towards that as you can. So maybe typically you would only do that when you're at home. Now might be the opportunity to say, okay, when a friend invites me out, maybe this meal is going to look different than what I originally planned to eat at home, but how could I still get in protein at this meal? Is there a possibility to do that at all? Maybe I could eat before I go. Maybe I order a burger instead of the pizza. Maybe my friend is hosting a barbecue and I bring a protein dish with me. Like, there's lots of options, but think about how can you get in as many reps as you can on that main behavior that you're working on. Maybe the main thing that you're trying to do is just to track calories, to get education. So again, think about how many reps you can get in. Maybe we can't track perfectly when we're traveling or, when we're going to happy hour, but could we get in some reps to practice that? Could we practice getting some education around what these meals are providing us? Just how many reps can you get in? If a friend invites you to happy hour, what might that look like? What does this look like with your new behavior? How can you get a rep in there? If you aren't sure how to track calories at a restaurant, but that main goal was tracking calories at a restaurant, can you track less than perfectly? Like, where can you get in these reps? Not every single circumstance that we go into this summer needs to be perfect. That also means not every single circumstance this summer needs to be an all-out splurge. So where can we find some of that middle ground? Where can we get these reps in? We are not going for perfect this summer. We are going for reps. So your application assignment for this episode, I'm going to start giving you guys these little application assignments at the end of the episode because I want you putting these things into practice. I want you not just to listen passively, I want you to actually do them. So DM me on Instagram right now, Sweat Simple, and let me know one way you are getting a rep in this week towards your new behavior. Just quick response, shoot me a DM, hold yourself accountable, go and do this because if you don't, you're going to forget everything that you just learned. You're going to go about your week. You're going to get busy. I know how this goes. So take a second right now, think about it, shoot me a DM, and let me know how you're getting a rep in this week. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you this week. Let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me a DM on Instagram just so I can hear from you, even if you're not doing the application assignment. And as always, I'll talk to you all in a couple weeks.